Awesome, you guys. Well, welcome to tonight's special team call. I know it was a little bit of short notice, so a lot of you guys are catching the recording, but I'm super excited because we have a special guest, a very successful Star Diamond coach on our team, Jenn Overway, who had the opportunity to be in the official test group for Lift4, and her 7-week results so far are amazing. She looks phenomenal, completely like shredded. I can't wait for the program to come out. It's going to be so awesome. So she was very more than willing to hop on and share with you guys her personal experience and some top tips and everything you need to know about this new program that's coming out. So make sure you have a pen and paper. Jenn is awesome at teaching and sharing. You're going to want to take notes. So with that said, Jenn, thank you for joining us tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so pumped. I got the email.
Oh, wait, hold on one second.
Got it.
I was trying to mute everybody. I was like, oh no, wait.
The big sign came up. Got it. So I got the email from the test group, and I started hyperventilating and crying. It was like a dream come true. And I had no idea because they still wouldn't tell us anything because the program hadn't been announced yet. So I had no idea what to expect or what was even going on. And then I was slightly nervous because one of my biggest things that I've been a coach for 6 years now. And when I started as a coach, I did Turbo Fire, and the nutrition guides were nothing like they are now with the containers, and they're just so intricate. And so when it came to the test group, that was the one thing I was like, okay, I'm going to need to get my ish together and make sure I'm on point with this nutrition, because for 6 years, I've done the whole, I'm going to do my workout, and I've kind of been a little bit more relaxed because that's how I started. And so, I was a little intimidated by not being able to get a cheat meal. Every Friday night, the kids pick out whatever they want to eat, and that's what we have. And it usually is paired with wine or something. So I was like, oh no, it's going to be a long 8 weeks. And so when we got the materials and stuff like that, the first thing that I saw in this nutrition guide was you can have in the nutrition guide, I don't know if they changed it or not, but it said cheat day. And I was like, oh, that's the first one that's ever said that. It's immediately had my heart. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was super excited about that. And then as we got in there, and I've done all of the programs, 6 years. I've, done the 1 hour long workouts 6 days a week. I teach fitness classes as well. So I'm like, okay, that's what you have to do, right? You show up, you do your workout, you make sure you get it in, and that's what we do. And that's just what I've done for so long. So I wasn't worried about the workout part. I was just worried about the nutrition part. But when I saw that was relaxed, I was like, okay, let's get in here. Let's see what this is like. But I was super nervous and super skeptical when they announced that it was going to be 4 days a week and 3 days off. I was like, okay, so the nutrition is a little more relaxed, and I only have to work out 4 days a week. I don't know, man. I've done Insanity and Turbo Fire, and I'm killing myself for an hour, and I still couldn't eat anything I wanted to eat. How is this going to go? Especially coming off of 80-day obsession with the timed nutrition and just how all of that was. And so I got in there, and the first day, I think Joel probably had a field day with all of us because we were all coming back. We started the day we came back from Riviera Maya, was the 23rd, April 23rd. The second wave was all traveling back. And so everybody's freaking out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get in there. I have to be on point with my nutrition. And the first thing he said was, okay, so you have 4 days to work out and you have 3 days off. If you need to move your schedule around a little bit, do that. And I was just like, what? what? You're in here. You're supposed to tell us that we need to do it exactly and all of these things, right? And everybody else in the group was the same way. We're just like, wait a second. Like, I mean, I came home. I was on point with my nutrition, flying home. I was dying because had way too many beverages in Mexico, and and then I had to work out after, and I was just like, oh man, but I did it anyway because that's what I felt I needed to do. And so then we go through the whole process, and the entire time Joel is telling us for like 2 weeks straight, relax, relax, relax. And that first day off, I was like so happy because my body was like hating me from just everything. And then it came to the weekend, and I was getting ready to travel to Cincinnati. We were packing up the night before, and I looked at my husband who was catching up. He's been doing the test group with me, but he's in the military. And so for the last few months, he's been out in the field, come and go. He's been out in the field for half the month and half not. So he was catching up over the weekend to make up for the times that he couldn't do it with me on calendar. So that was something that he really, really loved because it fit into that schedule for him. But then at the same time, we're getting ready to go for the weekend, and I was like, oh, I don't have to pack workout clothes. What? Like, I didn't have to pay attention to the gym. I didn't have to pack out workout clothes, like nothing. And on the way there, I was like, oh man, like I'm getting itchy. Like I need to move or something. Like this is what I'm used to. Like, man, I'm gonna like go to the zoo and I'm gonna slack on my nutrition, and I'm not gonna do this right, and I'm not gonna have results. And I was just freaking out. And then by the time we got home, I like sat there as we were driving home, and I was like, I never realized how overworked I was until I wasn't anymore. Like I never realized how mentally stressed I was until I wasn't. And that was one thing that Joel kept telling us, and we were like laughing at him. We're like, yeah, right, dude, whatever. He was like, you shouldn't. He was the purpose of this program is for you to, it's not, you shouldn't have to live your life around a workout. And I didn't realize how much of my life had tailored to whatever workout I'm doing, because I'm anal about it. It's like, I'm going to do the calendar. I'm going to finish it all. I mean, you can ask Benika. I'm like, you missed a day. You better make that up. Like, that's how I am. I want to do it right. And I'm like a perfectionist that way. And so the moment that maybe it was just the permission part, maybe it was reading that in the nutrition guide, maybe it was just the flexibility on the calendar. But the moment I wasn't, like, I didn't need to worry about those things, I realized just how much pressure I had put on myself mentally to make sure I did it right to get the results that I wanted to see. And when I let go of that, it was the most freeing thing in the world. Like I find myself now, like I do on the Wednesdays, I usually do foam rolling or something because my body hurts and you're always gonna hurt. So the secret to this is on day one, so you work out on the day and you feel like a little sore, a little stiff. The second day you might feel some like soreness, but it's day two. The delayed muscle, the onset muscle soreness like smacks you on day two. And so you're going into shoulder day and your back is hurting and you're like, what the heck did I do? I didn't do anything yesterday, but it like sneaks up on you on day two. And so that what I found was, like with some of the other programs, I was working out 6 days a week and teaching classes that I was mentally exhausted from the thought of exercising anymore. Like the thought of putting anything else into my body physically, that I didn't even want to like do the self-care or stretch out or roll out. Like it was just like, no, stop, let me be. Like that I don't need to do that right now. But now I find myself wanting to do those things. And I like running Spartan races and stuff like that. And so I can do that and pair that with pair the training that I would need to do for that with these workouts and know that I'm not going to like overwork myself in the process. It's been freeing. The kids have loved it because I'm like, oh, hey, let's go off and do something, because my body wants to move naturally, but we get to go do other things. Or do yoga or, you know, go running with the kids, go walking, swimming, like run around. We went on a hike our last day off last week, 5 miles up and down a mountain to find a waterfall that didn't exist. But that's okay. Like, my friend wanted to do that on his wedding day, so we did. But it was things like that that I didn't have to worry about, and it was so freeing. And then the nutrition piece of it makes me smile so much because, like I said, I'm gonna have a cheat meal regardless of what that nutrition guide says, because I can't live my life otherwise. So for the fact that it said that in there, and then I've been tracking my macros more, just tracking 30% protein, 40% carbs, and 30% fats has been the target. And that was the target that, you know, everybody's asking, Joel, what should we be doing? And in the nutrition guide, it says the container counts, but it doesn't come with containers. The pack doesn't come with containers. So if you have containers, I use the containers as serving sizes because I'm not trying to weigh my food. But at the same time, I just put in and tracked my macros and made sure that I was going 30, 40, 30, and just let the rest of it be what it was, which was amazingly freeing. But at the same time, I think that I love that the most too for everybody, if you're doing like to be mindset or something like that, and it kind of takes the containers away and it takes that the strictness out of it, in my opinion. With this, you just have to make sure you're eating enough protein. And that was another piece that he had told us, because when I get hungry and you're building muscle and you're like, oh, I naturally go for like fruit or bread or something like that. And so he just said, if you're hungry, somebody commented one day, they go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna eat my arm off. Like, I went over a yellow, like whatever the half the red, half the yellow, like a teaspoon. I went over this much in my nutrition for the day. And he was like, so if you're hungry, eat your food. So what? And then he posts this like Halo Top ice cream stack for us all. And we're like, really? Like, and it was amazing. And he made sure to keep telling us that, if you're hungry, like if you can really tell that you're hungry, there's a difference between snacking and not. But he said, eat like a serving or two extra of a good protein, and then feed your muscles. Like, if you're hungry, don't starve your muscles, feed your muscles. And honestly, the days that I'm like hungry and I'm like, oh man, like I feel I'm overeating, I eat Greek yogurt. So 0 fat Greek yogurt with like a half a scoop of Recover in it, and then you stir it up and it kind of tastes like chocolate cheesecake. And then you can crumble some of the Beach Bar on top of it. Oh my God, it's so delicious. But anytime that I feel hungry and I do that, I actually go down in weight the next day, because I still weigh myself every day. I'm trying to incorporate pieces of everything, because I feel great, and then I can kill it the next day. So, and then that recover day, you recover, and then you just are mentally prepared. You're like, 2 days, I could totally do 2 days. And then you have that rest day, and then you crush the next 2 days, and you're like, yes, I'm going to just go and live my life. And I never do a whole cheat day. We call it treat day or live your life day. You just go and celebrate. And if you're going to a barbecue, enjoy that. Like, relax and keep going. And just that mental freedom that's carried over. It's carried over into my business as a coach. It's carried over dramatically into my challenge groups as a coach. I think my people thank me for that. But it's made me happier. This is the first program that I have gotten to the halfway point on, and I was like, no, we're not done yet, right? We can do this again, right? And any other time you get to that one point, there's always a point in a program you're like, oh, is this done yet? Like, I need it to be done. And I haven't found that. We have 2 more workouts left, and we are starting round 2 on Monday. Everybody's like, no, we are not done yet. So, so far I am down. I weighed myself this morning. So I've been down 9 pounds, And I haven't done my measurements yet. I had a stomach bug, so I was bloated, and I was like, yep, not doing that. But I'm going to do my 8-week totals. I usually do them on Tuesday for some reason. I don't know why. Really weird about that. But I'll post them when I get all of that done. And I'm really excited to see the changes. I've done all of the weight training programs. I've done all of the cardio programs, of every program Beachbody has to offer. And I have never seen such muscle growth and such huge changes, both in muscle growth and like leanness, so quickly, especially with weightlifting. I usually tend to swell up. And one of two things happens, and this is going to sound funny, but one of two things happens. If I do a lot of cardio, my butt goes flat. If I don't do a lot of cardio and I'm lifting a lot, the muscle kind of grows under all of that bigness. And so it just looks super huge, right? Either way, I feel self-conscious about myself. This time, everything has moved together all at the same time, and it's been amazing. So, and then I'll ask if you guys have questions, because I could literally talk about this forever. I have maxed out all of the weight that I ever did on Body Bees, that I ever did on Hammer and Chisel or anything like that. I'm pressing 40-pound weights, which I never shoulder press that high, or and chest pressing in the same. And I had to get heavier weights because of the squats and stuff like that. And I was always scared, because some of those moves, and sometimes when you do some of those moves, they're so complicated and so complex. It was frustrating to me, because I could do more, but I couldn't, because I didn't want to hurt myself, or, I have old lady knees and old lady hips. So, but the simplicity of it, and the strength that I feel and that it shows, it has been amazing to see just how simple and relaxed you can be and still below your own mind. So I would suggest that what I've been telling my team, some takeaways. So you guys, maybe this will help you guys incorporate that into the launch and stuff like that. Jacqueline and I have been running for our teams a free macro group, to get mainly talking about the tracking your food, right? Because that's a big piece of it. Despite, you're relaxed and stuff like that, you have a lot of leeway, but you still have to make sure that you're tracking your food to some extent, so you overeat too much. We've been doing that as a funnel to start talking to people. So if they're ready for Lift4, we can kind of divert them that way. And if they're not, we can divert them to 2B or whatever program they have been. So I really suggest doing that. That attracts a lot of people, and you're able to kind of start getting people relaxed on their nutrition, kind of myth bust some of those, super crazy dieting mindsets. And then at the same time, use the previews for Lift4 and all of that to show them, or pop-up workouts or something like that, as that free group thing. And then really, just like I said, we plan on focusing on the 30-40-30 for their food. And then, encouraging on the off days for people to go out and live their lives. My number one thing is, since I have been doing this for so long, so many people are like, of course you can do it, you do everything. And that's not the case. Everything is hard for me too. But this is a way that allows me, and it allows all of us, to help people get started. There's nothing complicated. There's nothing intimidating by it. And it's 4 days a week. That's it. And even if, they track it, half the world is tracking their food on MyFitnessPal anyway. So, that's really all they have to do, and then do the workouts. And I've had questions about, what kind of weights do you need? I would start out with any weights that you have, and get more as you go up. You're going to go up. But start where you are, and then go up as you can. The biggest thing, and the most humbling thing to a lot of people, is you're doing 10 reps of each move. And so you want to use heavy weights, but you have to stay on pace with Joel through the whole thing. And that was the most humbling thing for my husband. He's like, yeah, I can rep out these 10 real quick. But then he had to like slow it down a little bit. He's like, I got to loosen the weights a little bit, which was super fun for me to see. But that's just because we have competition going on. But yeah, so even if you don't have super heavy weights or anything like that, like wherever you're starting is the perfect place to start, and then, you know, go from there. And the same with your people. Is that good? Does that answer? Did that help? Do you guys have any questions?
I wrote down questions as you were going, but then you answered them. So I was going to say, did you track in MyFitnessPal?
So I used the Lose It app.
Oh.
That was the one Joel recommended.
Okay.
I guess that's the one him and his wife used. I know Jacqueline uses MyFitnessPal though for her macros and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've definitely used it too. It's just I haven't done it for like a year. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. That's, I think, one of my things too. I didn't track very well, so.
It makes a big difference though, it really does.
It does.
How long are the workouts?
So the workouts are anywhere from, I think the shortest one was about 27 minutes to 39, I think is the longest one.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's super, you're super in, you're super out. Every workout is slightly different in the setup, and you're not always doing a HIIT and you're not always doing weights. It switches up depending on the calendar and stuff like that. The style switches. Sometimes you're doing circuits, sometimes you're doing lift 50-50, where it's the weights and then the HIIT. Sometimes on leg day is when they have leg HIIT workouts, which are excruciating. And then on shoulder day, I think shoulder day was my funnest. You did 2 weighted workouts followed by a 30-second HIIT workout. And that was your set. And then you did that 3 times through and then moved on to the next set. So that was a shorter one because you kind of did it all at once and then you were done.
Okay. Cool. What questions do you guys have for Jen, guys? You can just unmute yourself.
Oh, Jacqueline said that she's been saying 15-minute weights, 15-minute hits. Yeah. Nope. Sometimes. So chest and back, they're either 50-50, which is the 15 of each, or it's a all circuit. Like I said, shoulders, 2 weighted, 1 circuit or 1 HIIT. And leg day is usually 50-50 or all HIIT. So, but it's not insanity HIIT. Has anybody done quarter force? Have you guys done any of those? Okay. So in quarter force, in a couple of the workouts, you would do 1 move for 1 minute, the next move for 45 seconds, the next move for 30 seconds. Like the harder the move got, the shorter the time you did it for. That's kind of the setup for the leg HIIT, except then you do a 15-second move too. And it's not always hardest to easiest, so don't be tricked, or easiest to hardest. Don't be tricked by that. He likes to throw in surprises.
Any other questions?
Yes, so your abs look amazing, but I need to know, how would my ass look? Like, how is this going to happen?
Okay, so another thing about that, I'm glad you said that, ma'am. So at the end of each workout, it doesn't matter what workout it is, what setup it is, you always do a core. You always do at least 2 core moves. And so no matter what, like, you know that you're done with your lifting, you're done with your hitting, you get to do your core, which is the best in I love it. I love it. So your butt, I don't know, ma'am, I guess it depends on how heavy you squat your weights, huh?
So how heavy do you think we should go? Like, how heavy do we?
So the moves, the weights, the leg weights were a struggle for me because my legs are super strong, but my grip wasn't there. So I would like have to drop and like sit here and do one of these, and like my hands hurt, and my husband's like, maybe you should use straps, and maybe you should use gloves. And I asked Joel, I said, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do I do? Tell me what to do. And he said, just keep lifting heavy shit is what his answer said. He said, the more you lift the weights, the stronger that grip will get. And it was 100% true. So I maxed out I started, because I ended 80-day obsession with the goblet squat. I had maxed that out. I just ended yesterday's leg day with a 60-pound dumbbell. And I squatted 40-pound dumbbells, 2 40-pound dumbbells. So, but the thing is, it's going to really depend on you and your upper body strength, because you're not putting anything on your back. You're not using a barbell or anything like that. So for me, it's a matter of getting those 40-pound dumbbells like up to here and then being able to squat them. So, but even if you can't hold on to the heavier weights, or you can't bring them up to your shoulders because they're just too heavy for your upper body, you're still going to get a solid workout because of the pace. Then, but just push yourself. Like, don't be afraid to push yourself in the weights. I caught myself a lot going, I've never done more than this before. My hands hurt. I probably shouldn't go any heavier than this. And then I proved myself wrong. And Joel is sitting there, and his cueing is on point. He sits there and he's like, no, I want you to push yourself. There is this one workout. He said, he says, you can hate me now, you'll love me later. And I was like videoing myself, and I looked in the camera, and I was like, I do hate you. And I accidentally posted that in that little piece of it in the group. I was like, I'm so sorry for the things I said to you while we were working out. But like, his cueing is just solid on point. Did I use the performance line? Yes. So in the nutrition guide, you'll see it too. It tells you when and how to use the performance line. I was in plan A, and so I did it in plan A. It doesn't say to use the creatine, so I didn't use the creatine. I used all of the other stuff though. I've been using it for quite a while, but the creatine, if you do use the creatine, a lot of the ladies were kind of nervous about that. He suggests using it for the first 6 weeks and stop using it for the last 2 weeks, because you're supposed to like cycle on and off with creatine. And some of the ladies, they stopped the creatine and they've been like shredding up. So I'm actually debating on whether or not to do the creatine for round 2. Haven't decided.
So would you say that this program would be good for beginners?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, there's nothing, even the hip moves, there's nothing crazy complicated. Like there's nothing that you really do have to look up at the screen for. There are some like jumping moves, obviously, but there's a modifier in the back. They tell you, how to take out the jumps and stuff like that. I know they have the band. They have the bands that it comes with, and they have the bandifier part. We didn't see that. We didn't get that. But honestly, like even if you use 2-pound weights, there's some weights that like you're like, yeah, I'm shoulder pressing like 30 pounds. And then there's a move. It's called the fly, and then the swimmers. And you're like, I have to drop my weights all together. I can't lift my arms. So it's for anyone. It really is for anyone who's just willing to step out of their comfort zone a little bit, because I mean, you're doing squats, you're doing goblet squats, you're doing side to side lunges, you're doing back lunges. Like there's nothing more complicating than that. You're not compressing your spine at all. You're not doing weird things to your knees. Nothing at all. Like you can do it anywhere.
Awesome. Any other questions, guys?
No. I do have, and I can post some, I don't know. Do you have you seen the test group pictures?
I've seen some, but I did create units. I started creating units in the Platinum Dynasty page.
Mhm.
So I have a unit there for Lift4. So if you want to add some photos, that would be amazing.
Okay, I can do that. I have a, like on the Trello board and stuff like that for the team. I've been adding the pictures in there. So I guess the second thing that I have that you guys can do for Lift4, I mean, whether you're going to do it or not, is I told my team to look through those pictures and find the pictures that look like your person and share those pictures to promote it. So I know that there are a lot of people in the group that have been sharing a lot, like publicly on their social media, that already look like super shredded, super like fit people. And I know that that's a little intimidating to some, but that's not everybody that's in the group. So there are a lot of ladies in that group that have had some huge changes to their body, and guys too, that just they're super amazing. So I'll share those pictures, and then you know, make sure that you share, you know, the ones that look like your person. That it's going to be the easiest thing, and it'll show them to, or I mean, wherever you're at, your person's going to come, so that'll show them that they can do it too. I think that's my advice.
Awesome. Well, I am definitely looking forward to the freedom of, like what you were saying about feeling like you were tied down and so stressed out about your workout. That's definitely been me over the last month with this whole pageant thing. I'm like, I gotta work out. No, I can't do this. I have to go work out. Like, and I was just like becoming like crazy about it. So I'm really looking forward to having that mental freedom and still getting awesome results. So thank you, Jen, so much for sharing. Thank you guys for hopping on. I will post this on the couple different team pages wherever you're watching. And hopefully everyone will join us for Lift4 when it comes out officially in July.
Thanks for having me. I hope you guys love it. You're going to love it. I promise.
Thank you.